region. But for now, I think...
Right, Daniel Kariuki, thank you so much. I know you'll be giving us more details, live coverage of Professor C.S. Magoha once he arrives in Nyeri County. He'll be touring Nyeri and Embu. So you've heard it from my colleague in Nyeri County. I'd like us to cruise over live to Kisumu County and talk to a man on the ground, Kevin Ogutu, who's been keeping a keen, a close look, a keen eye on this story, day 2 of school reopening. Kevin Ogutu, good morning. So yesterday, you're talking to us about public schools. Today, our focus is on private schools. And, my concern, or rather my question is, in public school, the CS was saying, let's not even expect that 1.5-meter distance amongst, learners. So what is the situation like in private schools? Because I understand you're in Mombasa Academy in Kisumu County. Talk to us about the Ministry of Health protocols that have been put in place during this time of a school reopening.
Well, thank you so much. Today being the 5th of January 2021, this is being the second day of the opening of schools. We are seeing quite a number of private schools really opening their doors to learners. And right here at Mombasa Academy, there is no exception. Yesterday, as you mentioned, we saw really glaring pictures of nothing close to the COVID-19 protocols in terms of social distancing in a number of schools that we visited, and that was in the public primary and secondary schools, courtesy of a number of issues. Some schools had been really marooned in water because of the backflow of water from Lake Victoria. But today, the focus now is on the private schools. Remember, earlier on, the government had promised to give them some injection in terms of capital to ensure that they don't suffer so much from the COVID-19 shocks. And for that and much more, I'm here with the director of Mombasa Group of Schools, George Mudanyi, and together with him, we'll be trying to look at how it has been for them, given that today a majority of private schools in Kisumu County are opening up. So welcome to KTN News, Director Mudanyi. We are here at Mombasa Academy, but of course the schools start from Vihiga and Kisumu counties, if I'm not wrong. Let's talk about how the journey has been. In Kisumu, where your school is, we've seen one case where one school had to be converted into a hospital because of the long period of closure of the schools. Take us through how this has been for you, and looking into 2021 for you as a director and a proprietor. What are some of the key issues you'd like to share with us as the schools reopen for this academic year?
Thank you, Mr. Gutu. As you said, my name is George Mudanyi. I'm a director of Mombasa Academy. Mombasa Academy is a member of Kenya Private Schools Association, where I am the national treasurer. Actually, private schools, we've really suffered. And when we were promised some funding by the government, which never came through, it has caused us lots of confusion. When the money was to come, most people sat back and they are waiting for it in order to improve their facilities. Unfortunately, not come. Anyway, that is where we are, and right now we have to struggle with what we have. The journey has been rough. Our teachers have not been paid, and so on and so forth. But we thank God that we are still alive. That's the most important thing. And today we are making arrangements to receive the students. We've had so many inquiries. Before that, there are some parents who got so concerned, and they were not so sure of where we are headed with the Kenyan education. And some of them indeed asked us to start an international curriculum. And in Mombasa, we took the initiative and we started the IG school, Cambridge School, here in Kisumu. So now we have 2 branches in Kisumu, in addition to the school we have in Vihiga. The journey has not been smooth. But now we've given the parents a choice. Those who want to do the IG, International Curriculum, they have a chance. They can do it from G1 to G9. That's not available because COVID has brought challenges, and it has also brought blessings to some people. For us, we have so many challenges, but we thank God that we are surviving.
Well, the Education Cabinet Secretary mentioned that for the private schools that will not be able to stay afloat, given the vagaries of the COVID-19 and the effect on the economy, they are allowed now, they had the free hand to take their pupils and students to public institutions. For you, now that you sit in the private schools organization, what has it been like? Are we seeing more of students and pupils moving to public? Because even there, the situation is not really as good as it's supposed to be because of the distance and the infrastructure in place.
For our school, Mombasa Academy, it is the other way around. In fact, we have seen so many inquiries and we've admitted so many new students. But for sure, I know so many parents have suffered, not just because of COVID, Corona, especially in Kisumu. You are aware there have been so many demolitions, so many people have lost their businesses. And so these people, apart from Corona pandemic, they've also suffered because of the modernization of Kisumu town. People have lost jobs, people have lost their businesses, and they've had to relocate to public schools. And unfortunately, from what I was reading in the news, some public schools are overpopulated and they cannot accept them. But for us, Mombasa, we've not been affected much. To the contrary, we've had so many students coming to make inquiry because the facilities are available.
Okay. Well, Director, because of time, we'll have to stop it right there. And that is the Director of Mombasa Group of Schools, George Mudanyi, taking us through how the situation has been for them in the private sector. Remember, a number of them had to close down or turn their business establishment into other ventures so as to stay afloat. And from the lakeside city of Kisumu, we now cross live to Mombasa, where my colleague Tobias Chanji is with CAAs of Education.